Good evening. I'm Esteban Quintero, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth System. In Husker news, Nebraska senior middle blocker Rebecca Alec was added to the AVCA National Player of the Year watch list on Thursday. Alec is one of 17 players added to the list midseason. She joins Andy Jackson, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley on the list. In other Husker news, Asher Cohen, Luke James, and Max Auden have all been selected as Nebraska men's gymnastics team captains for the 2026 season. They hope to lead a young Husker squad back to the finals where Nebraska finished fourth last season. In NFL news, the San Francisco 49ers face off against the Los Angeles Rams tonight at 7:15 p.m. at SoFi Stadium. You can watch that on Prime Video. Our sports sticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 wide each way, Underwood out of the gun. Marshall, the running back right. Takes the wayside snap, 4-man twisting rush. Underwood under pressure, ball's loose, it's picked up. Deshaun Singleton was in the area, beanbags on the turf. They stripped it. Black shirts get it done and get the takeaway. Snap to Raiola, rolls right, looks downfield to the numbers. Raiola plants, launches, far right side of the end zone, jump ball. Was it caught? Was it caught?
Unreal.
Touchdown, Huskers! Jakari Barty on a prayer! 52 yards!
Line drive serve is in. Pass by Harper, set middle. Rebecca for the match. She got it! Call the grandkid. Nebraska wins another in 5 over Creighton. The Big Red remains perfect. 9-0 in 2025.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday to you. Welcome into our final show of the week because we will be off the air tomorrow night for Husker volleyball, but we had the bye week in the rearview mirror and it's starting to have that hustle and bustle around campus again today. I like it, Kyle.
Yeah, it's good, and I don't like that we're not doing a show tomorrow. I mean, volleyball is good.
Are you going to do your own again?
I'm going to sit in my office, I'm going to talk into my laptop, and I'm going to do my own show because I just love talking about sports. But yes, a lot going on. Volleyball, Penn State, what a matchup, top 15 matchup, not quite the year we thought Penn State would have as the reigning national champion, but they're going to go on the road, Nebraska, and it's going to be a really tough test, and homecoming. So you got a lot going on with homecoming and another game day. You won't get the Huskers here in Lincoln for a couple weeks after this game. So enjoy this one, and you want to make sure you end this 4-game homestand with a winning mark.
So the Clydesdales, the Budweiser Clydesdales are going to be here, and they're actually here. They were having like a practice loop. I know they were doing some stuff for social media, and you actually ran into them.
I did. So I drove home a little bit about an hour ago I'd do some grocery shopping. You know, sometimes you forget to do those things when you're an adult. So I had to go home and do that, make sure I had stuff. And then I ran into a line of cars. I'm like, why is this all backed up over here? It was by the parking garage near my apartment, and it was the Clydesdales. They were doing a little bit of a loop down in the Haymarket area. I'm not sure if they're still out there, but there were a lot of people following the Clydesdales. I'm not sure if they made it public or not that they were doing a loop, but there were a lot of people that were surrounding. They had the cops near them. They were directing the Clydesdales. They had the cone set up. So they're here.
Alex Verherk, the director of the digital crew, said, we got to get you on the wagon. That'd be cool. I mean,
do a live Sports Nightly segment
awesome.
from the Clydesdales.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can make it happen, but it'd be cool. So that's fun. That's one of the many things that are going on around here on campus. So we have the Cornhusker kickoff again. We've talked a lot about that. So that's happening, and homecoming and all the good stuff. But hey, there's a football game, a big football game, and it just, talking to Coach Shorts today for our assistant coach interview that's going to air in Cornhusker kickoff, and then just the conversations throughout the week. I know you were out at practice too. It just seems like it was a good couple of weeks, and this team is ready to get back out there on Saturday.
I talked to Coach Rule today for our pregame radio chat, and he's loose. Even today, just like Monday. I mean, you noticed it, and you kind of talked to me about it, but he's very matter of fact. It's the same thing today. I kind of got that same sense where they're just ready to. Maybe it's the fatigue of not playing a game last week, and you have to spend 2 weeks talking about one game as opposed to 1 week. I mean, in talking to Dana the other day, it feels like they've sort of flipped the page.
Yeah.
They flipped the page pretty quickly after these games. They're watching
They have a 24-hour rule.
Yeah. And, you have to go over the tape, right?
Yeah.
And they do that on Sunday. And, when Dana had mentioned that we're watching these games on the sideline now. As it happens, we're watching the video. And so, we know right away what things went wrong. You don't have to necessarily wait till after the game to dissect tape nowadays. So they're just ready to move on. They're ready to move on.
Yeah. And look, Michigan's in the rearview mirror. They used it as a learning experience, want to improve in a lot of different areas. But that being said, it's, you always hear from players how awful it is to go into bye week with a loss, and then you can't write it. You can't write that wrong because you start getting used to that winning thing, and then it becomes a little bit tougher. But so the wind, apparently, have you got your forecast all lined out? Apparently the wind's going to be a pretty big factor.
I think it might be 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. You've been here for some of those games. I think Rutgers last year, there were some issues with the wind where it was kind of blustery. I think there were a couple instances in Coach Rule's first year in 2023, but that's something I noticed right away when I moved here. Even in the summer, there are just a lot of days where the wind's whipping, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be warm. Might be in the high 80s on Saturday, so maybe the wind will help that. But it's going to be a warm breeze. I'll tell you this: special teams and field position. Mistakes, all those things factor in when you talk about the elements, whether it's rain, snow, or wind. Whoever limits the mistakes or is able to find a way to get good field position, Archie's going to be huge in this game. Archie Wilson, they have one of the best punters in the country. So when you talk about battling the wind, there's some decisions that have to be made, whether you have to go for it in certain situations or you can't elect to kick a 45-yard field goal because the wind's too crazy. So that changes how you coach a game if you're Coach Rule.
I'm pretty surprised that we've played 3 games here and the wind hasn't been a factor
not at all,
yet.
really.
Because even you talk about big time gusts, but there have been a couple games that are just almost still down there, and I can feel it. And I watched the flags, and it just has not been really a factor at all so far here in Lincoln, but might get a taste of it. It's not like, a lot of these players that have played in it now, Archie, it'll be his first time, but most of these players have, if they've played here, they've experienced it and know kind of what, like Dylan has experienced it. Like he knows what to do in this wind. They've practiced in it. So a lot of these players have battled the elements, whether it be practice or games, but some of them, it'll be their first time. But Andrew Marshall is our Cornhusker conversation. And it's funny, a lot of those defensive backs, they're okay with the wind.
Yeah, it sort of helps them with the quarterbacks having to fight that. But, there's going to be certain quarters where you're going into the wind where it completely sort of sucks the life out of what you can do in certain situations. But I think if there's a team that is built for a high wind, we were talking about this before, because their pass game, their short intermediate passing game for Nebraska is almost an extension of their run game at times. So when you have blustery winds, I think this is an offense that's sort of built to get around that, but it's also a game that can you establish Emmett Johnson early if the wind's flying around and hand the ball to 21, let him do his thing.
We've talked a lot about this throughout this week. We had Jeremiah Searles on the sideline slice. We dove into a lot of it, obviously, the resident offensive lineman. But that's the one thing I'm fascinated to see how that looks on Saturday, just with how they come out. I think it's a group. They're better than what they showed. I think they learned from it, and I can't wait to see. I think they're going to come out with a pretty big chip on their shoulder, and hey, might see some shuffling around. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a possibility you might see some different guys, but we've been seeing that all year, right? Nothing has necessarily changed in that regard in terms of rotating tackles, who starts, who knows? I mean, that could certainly change, but it's a group that has a ton of pride in it. I mean, we always talk about that quote that Rocco Spindler had about they want to win the Joe Moore Award. They want to be the best offensive line in the country, and they have a lot of things to prove. This is a Michigan State defense that has struggled, but they're still big and physical up front. They're going to have their work cut out for them. They've heard a lot of noise over these past couple weeks, but Dana told me and Coach Rule told me today, look, the only voices that matter are the ones that are in this room and in this facility. So you can't necessarily let all that outside noise, it should be white noise to you, and just keep going, because if you have a good game where you rush for 250 yards as a team, then all of a sudden those conversations start to change a little bit.
Is this the first time that Nebraska wins a toss?
I don't know. So we're 0 for 4, right? Tails never fails. I know that.
They didn't call it at home, so
That's true.
it's the visiting team has won.
They didn't win it in Kansas City either,
No.
and they were the road team, right? So I guess they did call it in Kansas City.
Yeah, they called it in Kansas City. I think it was Marquise Buford, and didn't get it right that time. And then since then, it's been the opposing team has gotten
So
it
they've
right.
had the ball. The
Everybody's
opposing
deferred.
teams deferred.
Well, except for, didn't Akron take it twice? Akron took it.
I believe so. I think one of them did. I remember Coach Rule commenting on the fact that either Houston Christian or Akron deferred to the second half, saying that they don't respect you in the fact that they think it's going to be a game in the second half. But Dylan's been out there, I think, at least the last 2 games to start. The offense has been out there. And again,
I'm pretty sure it was Akron because Damon making a comment about, okay, I like it. You come in and take the ball first for the opposing team. I deferred to the second half. So, I can't. I'm pretty sure it's
one of
Akron.
those bye games, I think they might have, but the last 2, I want to say it's been Nebraska's offense first. So with that, set the stage, set the tempo. I think, again, Dana had a really good script the other day against Michigan. I know I'm a broken record. I've been saying that a bunch, but when he has now a full bye week and a full week of preparation, I'm really, really interested to see what that opening script looks like. I think that's already in the bag. He knows he had his plan ready for Michigan for a while, right? Because of the opponents in Akron and Houston Christian. You can, in a way, they don't like to say it, but you can look ahead. But now the preparation gets a little bit tighter here as you enter the month of October. But I think the game plan's been in the bag here for a couple days for Michigan State, and I'm really excited to see what that opening script, maybe first 15 or so plays, looks like.
Do you hear the dinging is back?
I do. It's back.
The dinging is back. So I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's coming from.
Didn't we figure out what it was last time?
It's from that speaker over there. Oh, Camden's going to fix it.
Camden's going to
Shout
come
out
over
Camden.
and-
Camden is the guy. Camden's going to fix it. So my parents are in town, and it's kind of a funny story. My mom bought a flower shop, and she brought me a flower arrangement for my office, so a new office. That's the first time they're seeing it. And when I saw them bring it out, I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to pretend like that's for Kyle. Because
Really mean. This is really mean.
We've made it clear that Kyle's not a decorator and his office is not decorated. And
Still
so I'm
not.
like, Mom, you've got to pretend like that's for Kyle. Because it's like a huge flower arrangement.
Massive.
And they pulled it off so well. They said, we wanted to get you this as an office for me. And
I'm
Kyle
glad
was
you were
like,
filming. Your mom was filming.
Yeah.
Everybody was in on it except for me.
And Kyle pulled his face though. He's like, "Oh, thank you. That's so nice." But that's
That ain't for you, pal.
I was like, "I'm just kidding. You don't have to keep pretending." But it was because it was the least Kyle Crooks thing that ever existed.
Yes, I don't foresee there to be flowers or anything in my office anytime soon. But it was great to meet your parents for the first time. They're in town for the game,
Yep.
homecoming game this weekend. So I know you're excited to see them. I'm sure you guys have some plans this weekend, and luckily for you, it's a 3:00 kickoff. So you guys didn't get stuck with the 6:30, 7 o'clock kickoff.
Or the early one, because getting up early too, and
Yeah, at least you'd have the night. But I think this is a good time. for
sweet
your
spot.
parents
I
to be
like
here.
it. Yeah.
So it's good. It's
Yeah.
an exciting weekend for them. Hopefully they bring some good luck. Again, it's gonna be a hot one. So bring your suntan lotion.
Suntan lotion, yes. I will be bringing my suntan lotion once again. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. 402-413-2400 is that number. Saw a couple of texts rolling in. We'll get to those here on the other side of this. Coming up here, jam-packed 2 hours for you. We've got our picks coming up, our pick segments of the Big Dog. Jeremiah Searles will be back here with us making some picks. He missed last week due to missing once again out on getting an elk, but we'll fill you in on that here coming up in just a few minutes. Also going to hear from Jaylen Reyes and the Blitz, Camden and company, back with the Blitz as we get set for another weekend of college football. So keep it here on Sports Nightly, and we'll answer those texts coming up here on the other side of this.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 8th and October 31st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 28th in Lincoln, plus a pregame tailgate experience. Don't miss your shot to be a part of the action. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Fall City or Osceola Implement to enter. It's easy, it's free, and you could be cheering on the Huskers in person this season. Go Big Red.
Hey Husker fans, every grower's got that game-winning play. Maybe it's upgrading that old pivot, switching up the play with smart tech, or controlling water like a pro. Valley Irrigation's putting $100,000 on the line to back 2 growers ready to score big. This is your chance to get that $75K or $25K irrigation grant, plus a $50 parts or service voucher just for logging in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Visit valleyirrigation.com/Huskers. That's valleyirrigation.com/Huskers.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Fall City, Columbus, and Osmond.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series. Built Ford Tough.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same: a wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. I had a couple of texts on the text line. Art in Los Angeles said, Kyle, how do I get to listen or watch the show you're doing in your office tomorrow? Are you going to live stream it? I'm sure it will be great. You know I will be checking it out. Maybe on your show you could do some B jokes. Tell some B jokes, GBR.
Yeah.
Art's your guy.
Art's biggest fan. I think we can do the show and just send Art the link because I think Art's the only one who'd be interested.
Just do the show for Art.
Yeah.
John in Omaha said, Jessica, I've heard about your family. It sounds like they are such neat people. I believe they are. I might be a little biased, but I think they're very neat people. What are their first names? Jack and Sherry. Appreciate that text, John in Omaha. Go
Jack
Big Red.
was showing me pictures from the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
60,000 people packed in there like sardines.
Yeah.
So he had a good vantage point. He had fun, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it more than the Americans did overall in terms of the result. But, yeah, he had fun.
I always give you a hard time about your accent. Do my parents have accents?
Yeah, a little southern twang. It's good. There's nothing wrong with having some regionality to you.
Oh, yeah. No,
everyone's from somewhere, right?
Yeah. No, I love it. It's fine. I just like to give you a hard time about it. Arrowhead.
That's all right. I'm used to it by now.
All right. Well, we've got a huge volleyball match coming up tomorrow night. And while it might look a little bit different than maybe we thought it was going into the season, it's still big time matchup. And Jaylen Reyes, who was this week's guest on The Dig, the podcast The Dig, fully expects it to be a battle like it is every single year, but wanted to play you a portion of that to get you set for tomorrow night's volleyball matchup with Nebraska and Penn State. Okay, let's circle back here. This weekend, you got a back-to-back on the road Big Ten play at Penn State on Friday and at Rutgers on Saturday. I know Penn State's got some things they're trying to figure out, but it's still going to be electric, and that's still a big-time matchup on Friday night for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Just two volleyball programs that I think really respect each other based off of the two now former head coaches. You know, I think John and Russ really respected each other, and obviously, you know, we tend to get in each other's way of what we want. And, you know, we have a ton of respect for that staff. I think they have a ton of respect for us. And, you know, just when Penn State, Nebraska is on the schedule, if you're a volleyball fan, it's like you're circling that, whether if you're a Texas or Wisconsin, Stanford, Florida fan. I think a lot of people will be tuning in. Really gifted athletes on that side of the net. Two kids that used to play for us that I still personally really care about. And, you know, I'm super fired up that they're getting a million opportunities to play and play really well, if I'm being honest. So it should be a fun in it. Every time we go to rec hall, it's always, you know, they got the students with the whiteboard, and the students and the men's volleyball team are usually right there, like, you know, arms distance away from the girls. And making it a really, really cool college sport, not just volleyball, but a college sports environment. And I mean, they have some pretty unbelievable athletes. I know, obviously, I think it's kind of been documented what's going on there to a degree. But, all in all, I don't expect anything less but their best effort, and they're going to play a great match. And, it tends to always go 5 when we play those guys. And if it does, if I'm being honest, it's one of the matches you come to Nebraska for to play and coach at, is to coach against Penn State at Rec Hall, and usually the crowd, a lot of them are wearing white. So
yeah. Okay, and then how do you balance too just the back-to-back with the schedule and the travel and all of that? That's coming off the Penn State to Rutgers. I mean, what goes into that and being successful back-to-back days?
I think we really haven't. I guess we've done it one time this year, or a couple times.
I think it's home though, right?
Yeah. Well, one time we did in Nashville. No, we had a day in between. You're right. Yeah. So it was at home. So this time, for people out there, we'll play Penn State, and then we'll get on a plane and head over to New Jersey, or we'll technically go to Newark and then drive into New Jersey. So that kind of presents a challenge on its own. I think a lot of it too, though, is, hey, hopefully all the work we did in the summer and the spring, the girls did in the summer, and then we did in the spring with them, like strength conditioning, recovery-wise, like hopefully that comes to fruition both Friday and Saturday, just because we expect honestly, I mean, why wouldn't you expect us to go 5 with Penn State on Friday? It always does, but so a really physical, long, emotional match on Friday, and then we're going to have to turn around and play. And I got to watch them on video today. A really physical and talented Rutgers team that's playing really well. Their numbers are really, really well. And I know people in the past have, Rutgers. I think this Rutgers team is really talented. They have some returners. They have a nice mix of some new players that played at other schools and some returners that honestly have gotten a lot better from the last time I saw them play, which was, I think it was at the beginning of November last year. But a lot of it too is honestly just keeping our team focused on what's now. And now is practice today, practice tomorrow. We go to Penn State. Again, we're going to play in an awesome environment there. And then we turn our attention. Then we turn our attention to Rutgers and not look ahead and not worry about something we can't worry about. It's, hey, we're all in Penn State right now. And then we turn our attention to Rutgers starting, 20 minutes after the Penn State game. We'll give them 20 minutes to worry about what happened against Penn State.
Again, Jaylen Reyes there as a part of this week's episode of The Dig. Emeritus is proud to power The Dig and all of Husker women's sports. You can listen to that full episode. It's out now on our podcast platforms, on our YouTube channel as well. Also want to mention that the Epicenter, the documentary, in-season documentary series that our super talented digital team is working on throughout the season has premiered. This is episode 2. And it premiered at 5 o'clock, so just before we went on the show. And it is fantastic and actually features Jaylen Reyes and his backstory, so you can check that out as well on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, they do a great job. There's a lot of stories that sometimes go untold, but because of the people that are in these offices over here that are next to us, they get told, and really cool because you, as a fan, you want to know more about these athletes and coaches and their journeys, and it's never a short journey for anybody that gets to a place like this.
Exactly. All right, the Epicenter again on our YouTube channel. We were also talking during that while that interview was playing. So again, the back-to-back, not always easy, but I was telling you that Rutgers, because of the closeness to New York City, I remember the last time Nebraska went to Rutgers, Lindsey Peterson was telling me that it's one of the times that anybody from the East Coast or the New York Husker crowd can go, and it's sold out at Jersey Mike's Arena, which you have been there and said it's a really neat arena, but sold out. No tickets available for it, which is what happens when Nebraska goes on the road. A lot of times these teams will either move to a bigger arena or sell out typically. So, but I guarantee you, and Camden was telling us it's a scarlet out, so you're not going to be able to tell, but I guarantee
it's a bold strategy.
Other than the cheering, the voice or how the loudness cheering for Nebraska or Rutgers, you're not going to be able to tell in terms of the red, but it's going to be a heavily favored Nebraska crowd there in Jersey Mike's Arena.
Yeah, there's a pretty big footprint of Husker Nation. I wonder how many alumni clubs are out in the New York City area. I assume when you play Rutgers and you see the turnout that there's probably a lot of Husker alumni clubs in that area. So I know football, I believe, looking ahead, I believe football's at Rutgers next year as well. So getting an opportunity to play in that area for me is special from where I come from, and to sort of see my worlds collide. My brother actually went to Rutgers, so I have a link to that school, and I actually grew up watching a lot of Rutgers football and a lot of Rutgers athletics. So that should be a really cool crowd. Look forward to watching this weekend, both matches for them.
So, again, 7 o'clock tomorrow with that matchup with Penn State, and JB Lauren will be on the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow night with the pregame coverage. So excited for that one, your first Penn State-Nebraska match.
Let's do it. It should be a really, really good crowd. I think so you should listen on the radio. We know that.
Yeah.
It's on Fox, too, I believe.
And just sync it with the TV, yeah.
But
like always.
Another network television game for Nebraska volleyball. That's what, 3 or 4 this year already?
Oh, yeah. And it's
big time.
Did you see that Jaylen actually put out a graphic that it was the most watched non-conference volleyball season across the board for all platforms. But Nebraska, I think, had 4 or 5 of the top 10 most viewed matches in the non-conference, which, again, is not surprising.
The brand don't lie.
Yeah. No, it does.
Numbers don't lie.
No, it does not. That's
Winning doesn't lie.
All right, we got to get to a break. Coming up next, Camden and Company get you set for a week of college football with this week's edition of The Blitz. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 8th and October 31st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 28th in Lincoln, plus a pregame tailgate experience. Don't miss your shot to be a part of the action. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Fall City or Osceola Implement to enter. It's easy, it's free, and you could be cheering on the Huskers in person this season. Go Big Red.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Fall City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Hey Huskers, what would you do with up to $75K to upgrade your irrigation game? Automate that tough corner of your farm, add remote monitoring, or finally swap out that old pivot? Valley Irrigation just kicked off a bold $100,000 grant backing growers with real plays. 2 big awards, 1 chance to turn your irrigation challenge into a game-winning drive. See the playbook at valleyirrigation.com/Huskers. Just log in and grab an instant $50 Valley Parts or Service voucher. Here's the snap, valleyirrigation.com/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit Sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Welcome back to the Akrs Broadcast Center. I'm Bobby Hessling, and this is the Big Ten Blitz presented by Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Big Ten Blitz.
Here to talk Maryland is Jeff Ehrman from Inside Maryland Sports, a part of 24/7 Sports. And Jeff, Maryland's off to a hot start so far this season, coming off of a bye week. And what's worked well for the Terrapins so far this season, only through 4 games?
A lot of things have worked well, but, the one biggest thing I would say has been obviously Malik Washington, the freshman quarterback. Just as you guys saw last year with Rayola, you never know exactly what you're going to get from a true freshman quarterback, but he's been excellent. He's first quarterback in 20 years to throw for at least 250 in each of his first 4 games. And then they've gotten a lot from other true freshmen as well. Sidney Stewart he's tied for, I believe, second in the Big Ten right now in sacks. Another true freshman, Zahir Mathis, is one spot behind him there. So that's been the biggest story for Maryland has been how much they've gotten from all these first-year guys.
Yeah, you mentioned that Nebraska fans know well about starting a freshman at quarterback last year with Dylan Raiola, and now Maryland doing the same thing with Malik Washington. What has really stood out about him and him through his first 4 games and having to go on the road 2 weeks ago to Camp Randall and play a down Wisconsin team, but still walk out of a victory in what's typically a hard place to play?
Yeah, I'd say the poise and decision-making, for a teenager, a lot of those guys come in and they're in way over their heads. He's looked pretty comfortable. Obviously, through 4 games, you're going to have your share of down moments or mistakes, especially as a true freshman. But overall, he's avoided turnovers. He's made the right throws. And, he's been a leader. He's a guy who when they got him, and not only did they love him because he was number 5, he had the talent to be the number 5 quarterback in the country, but also because he has the intangibles and leadership qualities you look for. And so all of that has been evident so far.
In Maryland over the last couple of years, especially having Talia Tungavailoa, they've produced good quarterbacks throughout their time, and Mike Locksley has done a really good job. And we've seen the same steps taken with Malik Washington and now for Maryland, where he's going to be set up for a really good next 3 or maybe 4 seasons, depending how long until he goes pro. For you, how do you see his future panning out at Maryland under Coach Locksley?
I mean, you never know for sure, but to me, he looks like a star in the makings. Like I said, he's got the physical skills, the size, he's 6'5", 230 pounds, the arm. He's made some NFL caliber throws already this season. So, you know, there's never a guarantee, but to me, he looks like a future star, and that's what Maryland's banking on to kind of build a resurgence around the next few years.
Maryland's taking on a tough Washington team this weekend that just dropped a close game to Ohio State. Granted, that game was up in Seattle. It was a close game back and forth between Washington and Ohio State. Ohio State didn't score their first touchdown until about 2 minutes left until halftime. How does Maryland walk out with a win at home against a Washington team that's going to be traveling cross country essentially to play the Terrapins?
Yeah, the setup is pretty good for Maryland, obviously, because of what you mentioned with Washington coming off kind of that deflating loss and having to travel 2,300 miles. We've seen most of those West Coast teams struggle in that spot, you know, notwithstanding Oregon winning at Penn State last week. But, you know, I think it's a pretty close matchup. Washington's only favored by 5. Clearly, they have some offensive firepower. They averaged 55 points in their first 3 games. The question is, did that come because of, at least partially because of the really low-level competition? You could ask the same thing about Maryland as well. So, you know, for them, it's one of those where it could really be the kind of breakthrough win that gets people back on board.
And then if Maryland were to win next weekend, that'd set them up for a date with Nebraska with an unbeaten record. That game will be at 2:30 next Saturday on the Big Ten Network. But Jeff, your guys' game and the Maryland game is going to be today at 2:30 on the Big Ten Network. So back-to-back Big Ten Network games at 2:30. But Jeff, once again, thanks for joining us as part of Big Ten Blitz.
Thanks for having me, Bobby.
Now let's throw it over to Bella Pitts with UCLA.
Thanks, Bobby. Here to talk about the Bruins is Wayne Cook from the UCLA Radio Network. You guys had a pretty close loss last week to Northwestern. What do you think the team could have stepped up a little more?
Well, they needed to start much faster. We were down 17-0 at half and then shut them out in the second half and scored 14. But we did the same thing against UNLV. So as a team, they've got to come out of the locker room at the beginning of the game ready to play and execute. And we really haven't done that yet this year.
In the game versus Penn State this weekend, who do you think we should be looking out for?
That's a good question. Shoot, for me, the players on Penn State. I mean, they're a loaded team. Their run game's amazing. For UCLA, I mean, I would like to see Javian Thomas, the running back, number 21 for UCLA, get more opportunities. He hasn't had enough carries, in my opinion, in the first 4 games of the season. I'd like to get him 15 touches, you know, minimum, and see if we can't get a running back in some rhythm. Defensively, UCLA used more 5-down linemen against Northwestern in the second half, and it worked. It really slowed down their run game. So we might see a little bit more of that because we know that Penn State can run the football really, really well.
How do you see the game this weekend playing out for UCLA?
You know, I just hope that UCLA competes. You know, to me, it's been a really rough start. There's been a lot of changes. I mean, we just found out that, you know, not only is our head coach, our offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator all gone. So there's been a ton of changes. So, you know, for me, the athletes, I feel for them because this is a tough situation for all of them. So I just want them to compete. I mean, we're big underdogs, but it's still a big-time opportunity. So show up and give it your best. And, you know, if the outcome's not a win, at least you can go home and know that you gave it everything you had.
Thank you so much, Wayne, for your time today.
No, anytime.
Now let's send it over to Camden Cohn with Minnesota.
Thanks, Bella. Here to talk about the Golden Gophers is Andy Greeter from the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Well, Andy, Minnesota's coming off a nice 31-28 come-from-behind win over Rutgers last week. What were some of your takeaways from that game?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that, you know, they were in a 14-0 hole early in the second quarter. As of, you know, I think it was a 4-point favorite. So it was a little bit shocking to see them go down so big early. But they made some nice adjustments. They started to pressure former Gophers quarterback Ethan Kelly-McManus more. They started to rely more on freshman quarterback Drake Lindsey's big right arm. And were able to stake the biggest comeback at home for the Gophers since 1992.
You mentioned Drake Lindsey. He's had a really nice start to the season. What has impressed you the most about Lindsey's play through 4 games?
I think it's just the ability to process what is a NFL-style offense and the amount of responsibilities that he has at the line of scrimmage to get them in the right run play or check it to a proper pass play. I think he's done a really nice job of building on each week, and he was the Big Ten Freshman of the Week after throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had one check in particular that wasn't introduced into the game plan until Friday, but he realized it at the critical time and was able to throw a touchdown pass off it. So I think it's just kind of the precociousness that he has, the ability to process at a high level and run it to a high level of efficiency.
The Gophers have started 3-1. Has there been anything that surprised you through 4 games?
I think it was probably just the number of miscues and issues that they had at Cal. I think that was certainly a winnable game for the Gophers. So I think if they're sitting at 4-0 now, obviously it's a little bit different of a picture and things are a little bit more, the ceiling seems a little bit higher and the outlook seems a little bit rosier. But I think the fact that they dropped that game, I think it kind of shows that they still have to find ways to eke out close wins and do it in a fashion that isn't as kind of expected as it maybe was at the beginning of the year.
Well, this week it's another test for the Golden Gophers as they hit the road to take on Ohio State. How do you see this game playing out?
Yeah, it's going to be a daunting task for the Gophers. Obviously, Ohio State is number 1 ranked in the defending national champs and have what I think is an absolute dominant defense. They have been averaging giving up 5 points a game, and PJ Fleck joked earlier this week that Washington beat that average, and they got a whopping 6. So I think it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be the first night game, Big Ten night game at the Horseshoe in a couple of years. So I think the Buckeye fans are going to be pretty rowdy for this one.
Minnesota and Ohio State will kick off at 6:30 Central on NBC. Thanks for your time, Andy.
Appreciate it.
This has been the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks. My thanks to Bobby Hessling and Bella Pitts for their help, and Jeff Ehrman, Wayne Cook, and Andy Greeter for joining us. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. More Sports Nightly coming up after this.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Brent Rucco, Pete Vols, or George Florum in North Platte today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health.
Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly, final segment here of hour number 1. And speaking of Woodhouse and the Sports Nightly hotline, we did get a text in from Jim in Columbus. He said, boo. I'm assuming like boo, like, you know, ghost boo. Okay. Hey, Jessica, I have pretty much everything I need to send you for Halloween. When do you want me to send it? Basically, he was looking for what to get you. He was trying to figure out what to get you, but he found the perfect costume for you. So, and maybe an extra costume for Camden or somebody else. And so we've got a Halloween package on the way, and you have agreed to participate.
I don't know if I agreed as to so much I was told that I was going to that was going to take place. So I'm a team player, so I'll do it. And Jim, thank you.
We do have to figure out when that show is, but obviously we have a couple weeks to figure it out because we have the big the Huskers Athletic Hall of Fame that night that we'll both be a part of. So we might have to move some things around, might celebrate a night early, who knows. I mean, Halloween, sometimes people celebrate that thing for a week or two.
Are we going to have candy here? Like a bowl of candy for Halloween?
Hopefully. They sometimes do a trick-or-treat with the kids in the athletic department and come around to all the different departments. So I bet this is a happening spot.
Who's the person that we want answering our front door for when somebody...
I'd say me.
No, not you. I would say Josh.
For... like welcoming kids?
Yeah, I'd say Josh.
I mean, he has kids, but I feel like I'm pretty friendly to kids.
Yeah, you are. I would say who? Okay,
no, Josh is the dad, and he would know.
Who's the last person we want to answer?
I think Josh would be good about. I'm really bad if I'm handing out candy. Like, here, just take a handful, and you don't ration it, and then you run out of candy. But Josh should be very structured about how he passed out the candy.
He would. Yeah, he had everything down to each fun-size candy bar. But were you the person when it's like take one and make sure you save it for everybody else, where you're just
I was a rule follower. I took one. Yeah.
You follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Me, not a chance.
You took a handful?
You have the pillow. You do the pillowcase. You go around with the pillowcase as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just go.
You were one of those kids.
One of those kids. Absolutely the worst.
All right. Well, coming up next, it is time for our weekly pick segment. We have located Jeremiah Searles, and he has made his way back onto the airwaves. He's also going to be back for Big Red Reaction again this week. So
yes, excited for that.
So we'll hear from Searles, break down, last week's picks, and then make our picks this week. We had a little bit of shift in the leaderboard, so we'll break that down for you as well. So hour number 2, Sports Nightly coming up next, and so we got lots of fun to be had. Kyle did not have a good week, but Searles had a worse week.
I haven't had a good week yet, so I'm still searching for that said good week.
Maybe this is it. This is the winner. All right, we're back with hour number 2 of Sports Nightly coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn. And other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
The work is dirty.
and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Good evening, I'm Esteban Quintero, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. In Husker news, Nebraska senior middle blocker Rebecca Alec was added to the AVCA National Player of the Year watch list on Thursday. Alec is one of 17 players added to the list midseason. She joins Andy Jackson, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley on the list. In NFL news, the San Francisco 49ers face off against the Los Angeles Rams tonight at 7:15 p.m. at SoFi Stadium. You could watch that on Prime Video. Our sports sticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 wide each way. Underwood out of the gun. Marshall, the running back right. Takes the wayside snap. 4-man twisting rush. Underwood under pressure. Ball's loose. It's picked up. Deshaun Singleton was in the area. Beanbags on the turf. They stripped it. Black shirts get it done and get the takeaway. Snap to Raiola. Rolls right. Looks downfield to the numbers. Raiola plants. Launches. Far right side of the end zone. Jump ball. Was it caught? Was it caught?
Unreal.
Touchdown! Huskers! Jakari Barney on a prayer! 52 yards!
Line drive serve is in. Pass by Harper. Set middle. Rebecca for the match. She got it! Call the grand kick. Nebraska wins another in 5 over Creighton. The Big Red remains perfect. 9-0 in 2025.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by
Akrs,
the Midwest Premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more.
Akrs,
Solutions for every field. Welcome back, hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. He's back. You know it. The big dog, Jeremiah Searles, back on the grid. We did record a Sideline Slice episode this week, but if you haven't listened to that yet, Searles, people want to know, how did the elk hunting escapades go for you? You're still
the
bridesmaid, right?
I'm still elkless, but I was part of the last kill of the week. I got to call a bull into 10 yards for my buddy who shot him broadside. We had 2 elk and 1 bear. So successful hunt. I got a lot of meat upstairs that the Searles meat locker is in full processing mode right now. We're grinding and putting roasts in freezer bags and freezing up, and I might have to go get a second freezer, but that's never a bad thing considering deer season's right around the corner.
And we are currently in the process of trying to negotiate like a live taste testing of elk with Kyle Crooks.
I'll try it. I mean, it's...
He sounds like he's out on the bear, but you'd taste the elk.
Elk doesn't sound like it's too out there. Okay. And Searle says it's not too gamey. So if it's done right, we'll wait and see if you do it right.
It's a superfood.
Says who? Says you?
Anything that has to run for it, anything that has to run away for a living, like from bears and mountain
avocado's
lions,
a superfood. They ain't running from anything.
Yeah, but they're also dead.
How do you know that? You haven't talked to them.
I even
Florida
said,
boy, you're gonna get some Colorado high. You're gonna get some Colorado mountain elk.
I even said I would taste it for you, Searles. So
it's good.
We're gonna set that up. Have a live tasting on the air.
Yes.
All right.
I'll get some really nice steaks.
Okay. Back to business now. Camden Cohn, Josh Hokelman joining us, as well as it is time for our Choices Treatment Center weekly picks. But before we get to this week's picks, let's go back to last week, Kyle.
Let's not and say we did.
Let's not.
And Searles.
Let's not.
All right.
I started 0-5, Searles.
1-0 this week, man. We're focused on this week.
Well, Josh was the winner for the week. He goes 7-3 overall. Nicely done, Josh.
Thank you. Josh is killing it right now.
I went 5-5. Camden and Kyle go 4-6. Searles, Nick, and the interns go 3-7. Searles, I think I was saying it on the air. You just scribbled down your picks. I got them right, but I was maybe going to take one for you and say I read it wrong, but
Maybe you did. I don't know. I let ChatGTP do my picks last week because I was elk hunting and could do zero research. So I just threw it in there and said, "Hey, who's going to win these games?" So thanks a lot, Skynet.
all right, overall standings, Josh, back on top. You were either at the bottom or the top. Like, you're either all in or not there at all.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this is probably a bad way to look at it, but I feel like so much of it is luck, too. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything different.
Oh, just you need to gloat, Josh. Enough of this modest nonsense. If I'm on top, everybody's going to know it. Like, that's the thing is, like, I'm going to scream it from the mountain. I want Josh to be brash about how good he's been.
Josh?
I'll wait till the end of the season.
No, I
Wait
know
till
Josh. I just want to see a different Josh. I want Josh
You want
to
a
start screaming.
caricature on the...
Yes.
Okay.
I want a character Josh that just says, "I'm the winner, me." What's that Pete Weber, the bowler, that says,
Who do you think you are?
Who
I
do you
am.
think
I
you
am.
are? I am. That's what I want.
I somehow don't see Josh doing that, but we'll see.
I would do it too, Kyle.
So
I'm right
Josh
there
is
with
actually
you.
tied with Camden. Can't leave Camden out. They're at the top, 34 and 25. I'm a game behind, 33 and 26, along with the interns. Searles and Nick are 29 and 30. Kyle is 28 and 31.
Unfortunate.
So, listen.
Everyone
Searles,
loves a comeback. Everyone loves a comeback, Kyle. I say it every year. Everyone loves a comeback.
Except for the four of you.
3 weeks ago, I was in last place, so it can happen.
we were given. We were talking about it earlier this week, and he started off the day 0 and 5.
It was awful. And how many, Searles, we were on the same side of some of these picks. How many, 2 and 3 score leads did we just see evaporate? I mean,
100%.
Rutgers had a 2-touchdown lead. TCU, I think, was up 17 points. There was another one in there that was very similar. I don't remember which one, but there were 2 or 3 score leads that I just saw evaporate and said, I should just stop this. I truly need to quit.
I thought
pick.
we were going to pick one up because I was like, there's no way a lot of people pick Rutgers. I was like, that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big swing. And then all of a sudden they just absolutely pooped the bed. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Scarlet Knights.
Well, how about Oregon and Penn State? Were you able to watch that, Searles?
I was. We recorded it, and so we watched it when we got down off the hill. What a game.
Yeah. What'd you think? Who's the better team? Who's actually the better team?
I mean, it's hard to say because the first half, Penn State looked like they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Like they just couldn't do anything on offense. They were just anemic. And then all of a sudden it's like they just started throwing the ball down the field and Drew Allard looked like he was supposed to be. So I don't know who the better team is. I mean, Oregon looked really consistent too, but that was a great football game.
And Kyle, you told me don't bet against Georgia.
I was
you
wrong.
lost me a point last week.
You should have. You should have bet against Georgia. Well, the fact that Alabama got off to such a hot start in that game, right? The way that they were able to salt away the clock late and find a way in the second half on the road at Georgia. Boy, the perception of Alabama from week 1 to where we're at now, it just shows how quickly everything can change. From that loss at Florida State that turns out as a top 10 team to where they are now, winning at Georgia and being in that college football playoff mix in terms of those conversations. It's Ty Simpson's a gamer too. They're a really good team.
Illinois holds off USC, Searles, and I actually quit watching that game to go back to the Ryder Cup. But Illinois kind of handled USC for a while, and USC made it interesting. But somehow Illinois ends up with a win. And a bounce back win at that. They looked a lot better than they did against Indiana.
I thought after the Indiana shellacking that they took, they were going to come out and be a little bit lackluster. But hats off to Brett Bielema for having his team able to turn around and come back out and handle USC. I mean, they just physically beat up USC. Like they did. They just offensively and defensively, USC just got absolutely just beat up physically.
And you look at their schedule before they come to Lincoln, USC. They have Michigan and Notre Dame, I believe, back-to-back before they come here. So you might see a USC team that's like around 500 by the time they come to Lincoln. So this is going to be a must-have for them, I would assume, coming here to Nebraska.
Josh, you were the only one that picked Minnesota, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. So I was shocked, Searles, when I barely could read your chicken scratch that Minnesota. You usually always pick Minnesota, but you've picked against them a couple times this season.
And it's only paid off once. I think I'm 1 and 2 when picking against Minnesota currently.
All right, well, let's move along here and get to this week's picks. So let's start with in the Big 12, number 14 Iowa State, 5-0 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati ends up knocking off Kansas last week in a pretty good one. 3-1. Cincinnati has only lost coming to Nebraska, but 11 a.m. on ESPN2. Cincinnati is a 1.5 favorite going into this one. Josh?
Yeah, my gut says that in a game like this, Iowa State finds a way to win, but I can't ignore the fact that the Cyclones have a couple of injuries in their secondary, especially the way that Brendan Sorsby is running that offense right now. So I think I'm going to have to go with the Bearcats in this one.
I think I'm going against you. I'm going to go with Iowa State. They're methodical. They also have a really good quarterback. I think when Cincinnati might score fast, I think Iowa State might be able to dictate the pace and the timing of this game a little bit more. And I think they're here to prove that, hey, we should be in the conversation too. They just quietly slid under the radar 5-0. So I think Iowa State makes a statement in this one. Camden?
I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I like the way they've been playing. I think it's going to be a pretty good environment. They're at Cincinnati, and I like how Josh said that Iowa State's got some injuries in the secondary as well, so I'll take the Bearcats.
Sorsby was the highest graded quarterback according to PFF this past week at Kansas. So it shows how much that win kind of meant in week one a little bit more as we watch them. But this is one of those games, go against my gut, because my gut has not led me in the right direction. My gut would tell me Sorsby at home, you got to keep the momentum going. Flip it. Iowa State's going to, because week in, week out, we know it just does not go the way you think it's going to go. With that, give me Iowa State on the road.
You're not supposed to change everything that you do midway through the season.
Have you met me? We got to fix this thing up here.
Did you watch that halftime interview with Ben Johnson where that lady was like, "So you're just gonna change everything you're doing, right?" So yes, I am with you, Kyle. I kind of agreed. I was liking this, like, no, the Cincinnati, but I was like, hey, I'm with you. Got to flip the script. Give me Iowa State.
All right, Clemson 1-3 at North Carolina. Josh, you love putting Bill Belichick on these
I do.
picks.
It's entertainment, entertaining TV.
11 a.m. on ESPN. Clemson is a 13.5. Well, started off 13.5, now up to 14.5. Clemson's out of the top 25, back-to-back losses, and I think they get back in the win column in this one because I do not think it's North Carolina that's going to hand them 3 in a row. So.
Yep, I got Clemson. I don't think North Carolina's very good.
I think North Carolina will cover the 14. I think it's going to be close because Clemson, I think, is all out of sorts right now. They are not in a good spot as a program, Clemson, but Clemson's the much, much more talented team. So it's going to be Clemson.
Searles?
Yeah, I like Clemson. I like Clemson as well. I think that North Carolina, it's not the NFL. This is not the talent. It's just a week in, week out thing. This is you either have it or you don't in college football. And right now, North Carolina doesn't have the players they need to. So give me Clemson.
Right. Yeah. Both teams are in a tough spot mentally, like momentum wise. They're not very good, but I feel like just talent wise, North Carolina is in a much worse spot. So I'm going to make it a clean sweep and go with Clemson.
All right, back to the Big 12. Kansas State 2-3 to start the year, but coming off a big win over UCF. UCF also on the picks again this week. But at Baylor, Baylor is 3-2. Baylor is a 6.5-point favorite, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus. Camden, you're up first.
I think I'm going to go with K-State on the road. Baylor just beat Oklahoma State 45-27, and I think that if you're a good team, you should probably beat Oklahoma State by more than that. So I'm going to go Kansas State.
Yeah, I think I've been burnt with Baylor once already. I think when they played Auburn.
Baylor.
What's that?
Baylor.
Is that how I say it? You know what? Jess is not nice to me. At least you're feeding me elk, Searles. I mean, you could be mean to me. At least you're feeding me here. Jess is just mean. I'm gonna go with Baylor. Baylor at home, 7-point favorite. Give me Baylor.
Searles?
I'm gonna go with Baylor.
Did the elk chew your
well.
internet connection, Searles? What's going on over there?
Who did he go with? I don't know. He's like,
I don't know. I'm like checking in and out. I don't know what's happening. It keeps kicking me out and bringing me back in. I'm freaking out over here. So I'm just trying to piece it together as I go. But Baylor.
Okay.
I think Kansas State, it seems like they're maybe turning things around a little bit, but they just need to prove it to me one more week before I can go with them in the picks. I'm going to go with Baylor in this one. I
am not going with Baylor. I am going Kansas State. I'm with you, Camden. I think think they got some things figured out, Josh. I think you were right on track with that. You just didn't finish the thought. So I think they get one. And what did we say the last time we picked Baylor? They're not very good at defending the run, and Kansas State ran all over the field last week. So
True.
All right, Air Force at Navy. Navy a 12.5-point favorite coming into this one. Kyle, you are up first.
Even with the government shutdown, they're still going to play this game, right? So give me a Navy. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Give me Navy. They're just the better team.
Searles?
Yeah, I like Navy here too. I don't know a ton about either one of these, so I'm just going with the favorite. Give me Navy.
I did do a little bit of research into this one. If you can't tell yet, this was a very weak slate of games. So I had to dig a little deep to find this one. Air Force, it's tempting to pick them. They're 1-3, but they played a tough schedule. They kept all their games pretty close. So I think they do cover the spread, but I give the edge to the midshipmen at home.
I got Navy too, and I know nothing about either team, but I saw a 12.5-point favorite, so I'm going with Navy. All right, Washington at Maryland. Maryland 4-0. Washington 3-1. Kyle was pretty high on Washington last week against Ohio State. They
kept it close for a while.
Yeah. So, but here's a cross country track for Washington at Maryland. 2:30 on Big Ten Network. Washington they started off 5.5-point favorite, now up to a 6.5-point favorite. So, Searles, you're up first. He's got a delay.
I'm going to take Maryland. I'm going to take Maryland in this game. I think that Maryland is a team that is feisty and fun. I don't know if they'll be able to outlast, but I really like what they've been able to do the last couple of weeks. So give me Maryland.
When have you ever described the team as feisty and fun?
Feisty and fun, man. I don't know. They're fun to watch. They're a fun team to watch. They lack a little bit of size and overall, but they're a fun team to watch.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Josh?
To me, there's a reason why everyone was picking UW to upset Ohio State last week. They're a talented group. I wouldn't be surprised if the Terps do pull it out at home, but I'm going to stay with Washington. I feel like they're the safe pick.
I'm going with Washington too.
I'll go with Maryland, and I also was going to choose Navy in the game before. So
we skipped.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. The
clean sweep. It's fine.
Searles' delay is messing me all kinds of up. So
it's wildly unfortunate.
All
I'm
right.
glad we got your pick.
Camden goes Maryland. What do you got, Kyle?
It terrifies me when teams have to fly across country and play. What time's that game, by the way, Jess?
It is 2:30 on Big Ten Network.
Especially we'll be watching that one closely because that's the opponent coming up for Nebraska. But Damon Williams, he's the best quarterback in this game. I think he wins it. Give me Washington.
All righty. This one's for you, Kyle. Texas at Florida. Florida 1-3, 2:30 on ESPN. Texas is a 6.5-point favorite. Josh, you're back to picking first.
You don't want to make Kyle pick this one first.
Well, you know, I'll stick with it.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
fine.
suffered enough,
It's
you
fine.
know.
This game actually is sneakier than it might look at first glance.
You bet it is.
But I can't pick Florida because I have not picked them yet this year. It's worked out every time, so I'm going to go with the Longhorns.
I'm not chomping it either. Like, why would you do that? I mean, we've seen what it's done to Kyle all season. So I'm hooking him as well with Josh. Camden?
I'm going Florida.
Oh,
what? I think Florida pulls it out. They've been playing better. I'm going to go Florida.
Okay.
I don't know what games he's watching and when she says they've been playing better. Their defense has been good. Again, defense has been good.
Do it.
No, I think this has got to be the week.
You're not. I thought you were changing everything you're doing.
No, I'm saying this has got to be the week that I go against Florida.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Not the week that they actually win.
And I actually think
that's why I chose it.
I think this is their best opportunity to win, too. Like, I think they have a legitimate shot to win this game because of home field and DJ another week.
Talk yourself into it, dude. Talk
I'm gonna
yourself
go
into
Texas.
it. Come on.
Oh, he did it. He did it. Searles, what do you got?
I got Texas. Hook 'em.
All right. Vandy is unbeaten and number 16 in the country. Bama coming off the big win over Georgia, ranked 10th in the country, 3-1. 2:30 on ABC. Bama is a 10.5-point favorite. Of course, this is the game that last year Vandy upset Alabama and sent things into a spiral there in Nashville. But I think, is it me? Am I up first?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not. I think Alabama has got some things figured out. I think they want some revenge over Vandy for what they did last year. So give me Alabama.
Yep.
at home.
I got
Camden?
Bama at home.
Yeah, Bama. Bama game days there as well, which is crazy considering. So I think Florida State, Miami play this week, Oregon, Indiana. Like there's some good games, and they decided to go to that one. Give me Alabama at home.
Searles?
I like Alabama at home too. I think this is a game that's been circled on the Alabama schedule since last fall, and they want to come out and they're not just want to beat Vandy. They're going to want to make a statement of, hey, little brother back in the corner. So I think Bama wins big.
Josh?
The way that people have been talking this week, I feel like Diego Pavia is the greatest college football player of all time, but he has a chance to go out there and prove it this week. But I think that, like you guys have been saying, there's revenges on the Crimson Tide's mind. So I think they win.
All right, number 3, Miami at number 18, Florida State, 6:30 on ABC. Miami is a 4.5-point favorite. Florida State, we were sitting here watching this game on Friday night last week, and Florida State loses to Virginia in double overtime, 46-38. So coming off that loss, this one was the hardest one for me because I could totally see Florida State pulling off the win at home. But is it me again? No, it's not me.
No.
All right, I didn't write down the order, and so I'm all messed up. Camden, you're up. I'll pick last.
I like Miami.
Okay.
I don't know where to go with this game. To me, this is
same.
a toss-up because it's at FSU. Again, the way it almost feels like the NFL where you see something one week and expect the complete opposite the next week. So you see Florida State lose on the road against Virginia. As I make this pick, I'm making my decision. I think Florida State at home.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with Miami. I think Miami has a lot to play for right now. Florida State, be really curious to see how they respond after that loss there. But I think Miami, if Carson Beck keeps playing the way he's playing, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, I just think that Miami is the better team. I'm going to go with the Canes.
I mean, I think so too, but I just think that this could be a big bounce back win. It's a rivalry. Is Carson Beck going to throw it away? Florida State has taken it away some. So is the vintage Carson Beck coming back for this one? I think I'm going to go with Kyle. I think I'm going to go with Florida State at home. So
that's your mistake. Welcome.
You're changing the tide this week. So
that's right.
All right, Kansas at UCF, 6:30 on ESPN. Kansas is a 4.5-point favorite. Kyle.
Give me Kansas again. After a loss against Cincinnati, I would assume this is a bounce back spot for them. I don't think UCF is very good. So give me Kansas.
Searles?
Yeah, I'm going to go Kansas here as well. I wanted to take UCF, but then after seeing what happened last week, I just don't think they have the athletes around the field that they need. So, rock chalk.
This was a hard game for me to pick. I think the hardest one for me to pick, so I just flipped a coin and it came up rock chalk.
All right. At some point, Searles, Kansas is going to get us a point. We keep picking them.
They will.
If
that Daniels guy can turn into what we've been wanting him to turn into for 3 years, maybe.
I mean, at some point. So I'm just going to keep going with them and hoping that one of these days they'll give me some payoff for that. Camden?
I'll go with Kansas as well.
All right, clean sweep
so
for
it sounds
rock
like
chalk.
UCF then, huh?
All right, Duke at Cal, 9:30 on ESPN. Duke
I can
3-2.
tell you what is not going to be on my TV. Sorry, Jess.
Is Duke and Cal. You're not going to be watching that one?
No, I will not be watching that game.
Duke is a 2.5-point favorite, and Cal 4-1 sneakily, over there on the West Coast. Duke has won a couple games in a row. This is a sneaky good game, Kyle, that you're not going to watch.
Matchup.
And I'll tell you what, I think I had Syracuse last week, and to have that game in my quad box and to see like 24-3, I was getting ready. I was going to call Jess and say, "This is it. I'm
quitting.
Leaving. This is it." I'm going to go with Cal at home. Give me home field for Cal.
Searles?
I'm gonna take Duke. I'm gonna take Duke. I think that for no other reason besides I just think they're the better team. I mean, I've watched Cal. I don't think they're very physical. I think Duke is the more physical team.
I'm going to roll with Duke. They helped me pick up a big point last week, so rolling with them.
I'm also with Duke. I mean, that offense is high octane. I think they can put up the points. I think that's legit. So I'm going with Duke to survive the cross-country trek to Cal. Camden?
I'll close it out with Duke as well.
Ooh, Kyle.
So I'm the only
upstream.
one? Guess what game I will be watching?
Big chance.
When I'm in first place, and this is the one to clinch it.
You got a chance.
All right, Husker question of the week, Josh.
Well, if you listened to Sports Nightly last night, you got a little bit of a hint. You guys suggested a question. We're going to switch it up a little bit. So you guys are talking about Husker receivers and how they spread it around a lot. Here's a question. More or less than 6.5 Nebraska players have at least 2 receptions in the game this weekend?
Good question.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Can you say that again?
More or less than 6.5 Nebraska players have at least 2 receptions in the Michigan State game.
I'm gonna go over because if you factor in the 2 tight ends, Emmett, potentially one of the running backs, and then the big 3 wide receivers, I think I'm gonna go over. Camden?
I'll go over as well.
Okay, Searles.
Yeah, I don't know if we're doing order here, but
Okay.
I'm gonna take the over as well.
I'm going to tell you why I'm taking the under, because of the wind. Wind is going to play a massive factor on Saturday. We're talking 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. I think if they get Emmett Johnson going early, they're going to pound the rock. So I think there are a couple guys have big days, but multiple receptions at 6.5, I'd put it at the under just because of the elements.
I'm going to go under. I like Kyle's reasoning.
Yeah, I have the under too. I think it easily could go over, even with the wind, but I have a feeling that they might narrow it down a little bit. There might be guys that have 1 reception, but getting them to 2 is...
That's a good question, though. It'll be interesting.
Again, too, though, the way Nebraska runs their offense is a lot of short stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of mesh concepts, so maybe the wind doesn't play a factor. It's kind of their pass game can be an extension of the run game. So if there's one team that could have the over with the way their passing game is, it's Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, I'm factoring in, the fact that Lyndon Meyer is going to be a part. Heinrich Harburg had a big game last week. Plus, maybe the running backs get a couple receptions as well.
Did we ever get the final numbers on the punt question?
Yes,
from the
you
Michigan,
weren't here
Nebraska?
last week,
I
so you
missed it.
out.
What was the final numbers on that?
It was 361 was the total. 325.5 was what we were looking for. That was the line, and it was exactly 8 punts, which is what I had guessed it was going to be.
At halftime, we were looking good, Searles, but
I know.
then Archie had to go and boom some 54-yard punts.
I'll tell you what, I'll take the over in punt yardage just in the fact that we have 2 of the best punters in the Big Ten this week. Ryan Eckley is the best punter in the country for Michigan State. Archie Wilson had a couple 50-yard boots, so those are 2 big-time NFL punters.
All right, those were our weekly college football picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Where are those offices, Searles?
Lincoln and Columbus.
Nicely done. All right, we've got to get to a break. More of the show coming up after this. Thanks, Searles.
Later.
Hey, Husker fans.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or All of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Hey Huskers, what would you do with up to $75K to upgrade your irrigation game? Automate that tough corner of your farm, add remote monitoring, or finally swap out that old pivot? Valley Irrigation just kicked off a bold $100,000 grant backing growers with real plays. 2 big awards, 1 chance to turn your irrigation challenge into a game-winning drive. See the playbook at valleyirrigation.com/Huskers. Just log in and grab an instant $50 Valley parts or service voucher. Here's the snap, valleyirrigation.com/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. That was like a huge chunk of nonsense that we just did.
We're very good, I noticed, at nonsense. We do nonsense really well, especially when Searles comes in. He just sort of mixes it up, and Camden and Josh, they just sort of deal with us as we just go back and forth spewing our nonsense. But hopefully this is a better week for all of us, but selfishly me, because all I care about is me in terms of these picks. again, last week, because it was a Nebraska bye week, I had the first opportunity to truly sit and pay attention and go through my picks and watch games with the understanding of who I picked. And it just got worse. It got worse and worse by the game. We started 0-5. I'm in last place with the whole crew. So this is the week to turn it around. It's got to be.
We'll see. We'll see how you do. Hopefully this is the week that you don't quit on us.
I can't guarantee anything.
But hey, at least I can't believe we talked you into trying some elk.
Yeah, so we'll try it out. I will take Cyril's word for it that I'm sure it doesn't probably taste like anything. It's probably just like some sort of beef or whatever that you would eat. So there was lamb today at the training table. I didn't get a chance to try that today, but
I showed sheep, so I'll never eat lamb. Never. I just can't not think of those sheep that were basically pets for me.
Yeah, I know Cyril's offered me some bear meat, and I mentioned the fact that Winnie the Pooh. Hello, I mean we all grew up with Winnie.
That bear did not look like Winnie the Pooh.
But still, you think of these characters growing up that are loving animals and bears, and you don't want to eat them. But for me, it's just been chicken my whole life, so I don't venture too far.
Well, I did want to go back because we had to get to a break, but the Husker question that Josh had, we were talking about it yesterday about the over-under on how many Huskers actually catch a pass, then he narrowed it down and 2. So if you were taking the under, which Huskers do you think are going to be the ones that are targeted with multiple receptions?
I think Ja'Cory Barney, it's hard not to think that he's going to have another big day. He's had 2 100-yard games already this year, and one of them against Michigan was targeted a whole lot. I would expect a bigger week from Dane Key. He was only targeted 4 times against Michigan. Those are the 2 that I look at, and every week I kind of always say an Isaiah Hunter, but for me, I think the way it's been trending for Ja'Cory Barney, the connection that he's built up now in a year and change with Dylan, and then Dane Key and what he was brought here to do, and that's to be a number 1 wide receiver. Those would be the 2 guys that kind of from the land of the obvious that I'd be looking at that are going to have big days.
Okay, but then who is that? Those are the only guys you think are going to have multiple catches?
I mean, probably not, considering too Michigan State is what they are in terms of a pass defense. They are the worst pass defense in the Big Ten. But I think, especially with the way the elements are going to be, it's going to be pretty windy on Saturday. It's going to be one of those Memorial Stadium games where the wind's pumping through southwest, and it's kind of the south end of the stadium, and it's gonna force Coach Rule into decisions that might change the way Dana calls the game, where there's more of an emphasis on Emmett Johnson and maybe even specifically that short passing game. So what does that lend itself to? The Luke Lindemeyers, right? Maybe having another big day for him, or Emmett Johnson having multiple catches out of the backfield. I think it's going to be really close when you look at it. Okay, if you say 6.5, the over-under for receivers with multiple catches, I think if I'm going to take the under, it might be 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well, because has there been a game that Emmett has had less than 3 targets?
I don't think so.
Passing, for opportunities to catch the football. So, even with the win, whatever, it's going to be a part of the offense of giving Emmett touches through the passing game.
I think, too, the screen game is going to be big in this game, right? Force Michigan State to tackle. I think you will see some more explosive throws down the field, but whether it's running back screens, Isaiah Mosey getting out in some screens or swing routes, that quick passing game, I think that's going to be big in this game. Emmett Johnson is just, there's so many things that he can do that could beat you. And this is one of those games that he's going to see a lot of run, and he's going to do a lot of things. I think he's primed for a massive game here.
Are you as intrigued as it seems like the rest of Husker Nation is by what the running back situation looks like on Saturday?
Not so much, because in the end, I just think it's going to be a lot of Emmett.
Yeah,
knock on wood. If you can hear the wood being knocked on, that he stays healthy and ready to go. I think he's up for the task. I think he's a guy that can certainly shoulder the load, at least for a few games in this month. I think towards the end of this month, fatigue starts to play a factor. But right now, as we talk in the present day, I'm not all that concerned as to Emmett Johnson getting too many carries. I think Mekhi Nelson can eventually be that guy. I think that the skill set's there for him. Isaiah Mosey, I think if they want to work him more into that into that role. But Quentin Ives, too. I mean, I was a little surprised we didn't see much of him at all against Michigan. I'm sure it was a matchup thing, but I would not be shocked if you saw a lot more packages with Quentin Ives seeing more opportunities to run the football.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Got to get to a break. Got a couple of quick segments left here on this Thursday night edition of Sports Nightly.
Hey Huskers, what would you do with up to $75K to upgrade your irrigation game? Automate that tough corner of your farm, add remote monitoring, or finally swap out that old pivot? Valley Irrigation just kicked off a bold $100,000 grant backing growers with real plays. 2 big awards, 1 chance to turn your irrigation challenge into a game-winning drive. See the playbook at valleyirrigation.com/Huskers. Just log in and grab an instant $50 Valley Parts or Service voucher. Here's the snap, valleyirrigation.com/Huskers.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Just got a couple of quick segments left here on tonight in our final show of the week, because we'll be off the air tomorrow night with a big one at Penn State for Husker volleyball. JB and Lauren will be on the air at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. And, we heard from Jaylen Reyes earlier in the show. And despite the things going on with Penn State and their struggles, and they've dropped some matches and figuring out the setter position, he said it best. This is a rivalry game. This is a huge matchup. It means a lot to both programs. There's two former Huskers that have played Nebraska very well since they've left Nebraska. And so, it's going to be rocking there. And he said, I don't care what's going on. I always expect the Penn State match to go to 5 sets.
Yeah, there's certain teams, and no matter what their personnel may look like, that especially when you're going there and you have to be a part of that environment, there's a lot of people that you talk to around the Big Ten volleyball-wise that say Penn State is the loudest environment because the fans are really on top of you. And I know these players are going to be jacked up, so controlling emotions, especially early on, if Penn State goes on a run, you want to make sure you stay even keel. But this is a battle-tested Nebraska volleyball team with some of the matches that they've had that have gone to 5 sets, and they've had to find a way to kind of eke them out.
Caroline Juravicius has played out of her mind in the 2 matches she's played in Nebraska since she left Nebraska. And so it'll be, it was like a coming out party for her the last year when Nebraska went to Penn State. So I'm curious to see how she follows that up. And, again, they still got some athletes, and they've got some good players that there's a reason why they are the defending national champions and were picked right behind Nebraska to start the season. And while they're figuring out the setting position, the Huskers are not taking this lightly. They're going into it knowing that it's going to be a battle, and a tough back-to-back at Penn State, at Rutgers on Saturday. Not a whole lot of those this season, but it's always a tough task for this team. So they'll have to respond and get ready to go again at Rutgers on Saturday. All right, we got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up the show next.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hey Husker fans, every grower's got that game-winning play. Maybe it's upgrading that old pivot, switching up the play with smart tech, or controlling water like a pro. Valley Irrigation's putting $100,000 on the line to back 2 growers ready to score big. This is your chance to get that $75K or $25K irrigation grant, plus a $50 parts or service voucher just for logging in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Visit valleyirrigation.com/Huskers. That's valleyirrigation.com/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Just got about a minute and a half left here on tonight's show. We went way too long with the big dog in our pick segment, as we always do, but hey, that's all right. We enjoy it. Lots of things going on. So this is our last chance to chat with you here on Sports Nightly. But Saturday, homecoming, a lot of fun things. Wrestling's having an open practice. The Clydesdales are going to be here. He said 1 o'clock, right? 1 o'clock be over there at the East Stadium Loop. They're going to make a loop over there. So the Clydesdales, the Cornhusker kickoff is back. Husker softball going to be signing autographs. So once again, lots going on here on a game day.
And you won't be in Lincoln for a couple weeks, right? So you're going to head on the road after this. So this ends a 4-game homestand. You want to make sure you have a winning record, make it 3-1 to end that homestand here in Lincoln. So this is a big game. Again, October. You have to find a way to get on a win streak here if you want to be in that conversation come November.
All right, so we will be on the air with Husker Game Day with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning starting at 11 a.m.
Ooh.
And we will bring you all the game day coverage. And then it's a double duty day once again for our radio crew, as Husker Volleyball will also be on the air on Saturday as they take on Rutgers. But tomorrow night, make sure to tune in right here on the Huskers Radio Network. John Baylor, Lauren Cook West for the big one, Nebraska at number 16 Penn State, 7 o'clock match, but we'll be on the air at 6 o'clock with the pregame coverage. So that's going to do it for us. We're looking forward to talking to you again on Husker Game Day against Michigan State, 3 o'clock kickoff there. Thanks to Camden and Josh for Kyle Crooks, and Jeremiah Searles also being a part of the show tonight. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Saturday.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Reliable energy service wherever you need it. Whether it's propane, fuels, or lubricants, Central Valley Ag delivers with reliability and care you can count on. From your farm to your home or your business, CVA Energy is your trusted partner for agricultural, commercial, and residential energy solutions. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorceed-enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore enlist corn, and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products